Let's bring in Hudson Institute Senior Fellow Rebeccah Heinrichs. Rebeccah, welcome.
Thank you.
So we have graphics to show our audience of attacks on commercial vessels in the Red Sea. Obviously, that's been an ongoing problem. You can see the highlights there on the graphic. And now many cargo ships are being rerouted all over the globe to avoid the Red Sea. Why should folks at home be concerned, Rebeccah?
Yeah, tens of billions of dollars are now being diverted. That's going to increase the cost of goods as these cargo companies can't ensure the safety and security. Americans at home should remember that we are safe and secure and prosperous because of these free and open international waters that are defended and protected by the U.S. Navy and the navies of those of our allies. Those are directly being threatened by Iran-backed terrorist groups. And it is amazing that these small, much far inferior in terms of their military capabilities, powers, Iranian proxies, are able to hold up global supply lanes because the U.S. Navy has not been permitted to go on the offense. It's still simply playing defense.
There was also this recent attack in the Arabian Sea off the coast of India. It's not likely the Iranians are going to stop there, right?
No, they're not going to stop because they're not being made to stop. And so there is this hesitation on the part of the Biden administration to actually push harder to respond with greater retaliation. But at each time these proxies attack, they should be immediately eliminated. And that's how you get all of these Houthis or the Iranian proxies across the Middle East to understand that they themselves will be gone if they continue as soon as they attack U.S. forces or our allies. That has not been greenlit by the White House, that kind of response. And so we should expect the Iranians to continue to press the envelope to increase the number of attacks because they are getting leverage over the global economy, over the United States and our allies.
A key Republican senator today talked about hitting the Iranian regime in the wallet. Let's play it.
As soon as Joe Biden came into office, they stopped enforcing the sanctions. Billions of dollars began to flow. According to our estimates, they've enriched themselves by over $100 billion in terms of illicit oil sales, and it continues. We need to come back and snap back economic sanctions immediately on Iran. We need to send a clear diplomatic message.
Would that be helpful, snapback sanctions, Rebeccah?
Well, certainly it would be helpful. It should be part of an overall approach by the U.S. government to take on the Iranian government directly and to squeeze them. Unfortunately, this White House is so determined to have a sort of rapprochement with Iran that they're just focusing on what can we do to not irritate the Iranians at this point, to try to see if we can convince them to come up with some sort of place where it's more stable. That's not the way you go. It's a fundamental misunderstanding. You have to have sanctions in place. You squeeze them economically, but again, you must also use American hard power. That is what communicates to our adversaries that they cannot behave this way. And then you leave a space for diplomacy and negotiation. But so far, those two things, economically squeezing them and the hard power piece, are absent.
A big concern this Christmas season for American military families are these attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria. They're really sitting ducks out there. 102 at least attacks on U.S. forces there. There are all the locations that have been hit. What should the Commander-in-Chief, President Biden, be doing to help those in harm's way?
Well, they should be given the authority to go on the offense. Defense is not the best offense. Offense is the best offense. The American people should understand what these forces are doing. They are conducting counterterrorism operations. That's why they're there. We lost a really critical ability to do that whenever we had the precipitous withdrawal from Afghanistan. But Iraq and in Syria, that's what these forces are doing. And then, of course, our Navy is also keeping these sea lanes open so that we can be safe and secure and prosperous here at home. So President Biden must give them the tools and the authorization that they need in order to go on the offense and go right to the head of the dragon, which is the Iranian government, it's the IRGC, and it's their proxies across the region.
I know from covering the Pentagon for years, they have a list of targets they could hit in any given situation. If the Commander-in-Chief says go, are there targets in Iran that could basically send a strong message without starting a broader war?
Absolutely. And one of the things, Mike, that I've been trying to convey is this fear that we've seen. This is in our support for Ukraine, in our support for Israel. There's this fear that if we support too much or if we do too much, that it will create an escalation on the part of our adversaries. Our adversaries are going to make judgments on their own. Our responsibility is to give our allies and our troops the ability to respond in such a way that we can communicate that we will defend our vital interests, our allies, and the adversary should back down. But if we continue to give them space and to fear escalation too much, we concede the escalation control to our adversaries. And that's the paradox of the problem.
Rebeccah Heinrichs on our A game. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas. Remember the troops. They are deployed in harm's way, and they're the ones keeping us safe.
Amen. Thank you, Rebeccah.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.